Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, team?
Nope.
Hello, hello, hello. Leland, what's happening?
Just getting going again right now.
Say again?
Just getting going again right now. Another day in paradise.
What's going on, Michael? Welcome. Top of the morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Yes. How's everyone feeling after yesterday's conversation?
I feel fired up. I guess that would be the best. Best I could be fired up at 8:30 in the morning for sure.
I hear that. And yeah, one of the things that I know, since we're here early, we can just kind of chop it up. But I just really wanted to anchor on the fact that when Sean, he really meant, and I say this because he said this to me. He says, if all I do is inspire you, I'm failing you. So just know that that's like the lowest level outcome of this entire experience is like motivation. So like if you put that as a benchmark on the bottom, just imagine like all the room we have to grow.
Right. No, that's awesome. I mean, for me, I guess I'm fired up not so much about what he's saying as it realizing how some of my skill sets really fit into this and how I am really in the right place, even though it's the first time I signed up for something in decades that I didn't really research or watch. I didn't even remember Sean's name, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was really just going off of the vibe of Tia, who and her husband Craig, who I felt that energy and I knew that there was something there and I just jumped in. And so now I kind of know why.
And you know what, actually, I'm like super interested as we wait a couple more minutes. Can you share with me? So your access point to this was Tia and Craig, correct?
Yep.
And like, how did that happen? How did you connect? How was this brought up? I'm just interested.
Got it. Well, I'm a chiropractor and I lean towards the sort of energy medicine side of it. And Tia's she's a very talented healer in her own right. And so we connected on that. A course I was teaching, she participated in, and then we just started working on each other about a month ago. And we have some other projects that we're collaborating on. And so this was just an obvious, especially since it was not a huge commitment to jump in. I said, for X amount of dollars, try it for a month and just see what happens. I liked what she was about, really.
That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing. I'm always, a lot of other people like Leland, Dean, Martha, I was their access point. So I'm always interested in hearing how everyone else is like, hey, how'd that happen? So thank you. Another question I like to bring up as we wait for 8:30 is on a yes or no, I know Dean is already making strides. I know Leland already bought his ticket. Who is going to be joining us in January 10th, 11th, and 12th here in New Jersey for the Unblinded Business Breakthrough Game? Who's like still thinking about it? Who is like a definite yes? Just kind of wanted to get an idea of the yeses and the nos in the group.
Yeah, I'll be going. I've got it. I just need to get with you, Fernando, and get that ticket made.
Beautiful. Who's speaking? I'm so sorry.
Oh, Dean.
Dean? Okay, Dean. So let's make sure that we get that hand. I know me and you've been texting. Thank you for your patience on all the things, sending you the recordings and everything. So thank you. But yes, let's get together. Let's make that happen. I want to really start moving that momentum because as we spoke about yesterday, and I even had a breakthrough. I had a breakthrough this morning. Was like the ecosystem merging fucking machine that's gonna be present in January is like mind numbing. And as I promised all of you individually when we were jumping in this, that was our intention with Sean, was to get everyone on here, make this the original case study, show the power of ecosystem mergers. So our next step, besides showing up Wednesdays, Thursdays, consistency, is making sure that we show up powerfully in January. That is the next step. So I'll coordinate with you, Dean. Who else that already has their ticket or is considering or has questions on what that looks like in January?
I'm just excited to go. So I'm looking forward to being able to be there with everyone and meet everybody in person. So I'm looking forward to it.
You got it, brother. I'm super excited. You are coming all the way from Canada, right?
That's right. All the way to BC, which is the other side.
Yeah,
Well,
buying tickets, showing up, no questions asked. That's what I love to hear. Welcome, Sergio. Who else we got in here? SoCal Craig, Martha. We got David Harder. That's a new name. Pete, love your shares, brother. Thank you for being
What's up,
here.
Fernando?
Who is this?
Dave Harder, brother. How are you? Epic Wealth, baby.
Oh, dude, what's up, man?
What's up, homie?
Oh, there you go. It just landed, dude. Happy to have you here.
I'm great, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man, guys, if you don't know David, please, search him, text him. He is doing everything amazing. He is like a rock star in his ability.
I appreciate you, my friend.
Yes. Happy to have you here.
Dave Harder, what's up?
What's up?
Mr. Fox. And who are the other numbers that are kind of on here where I can't say a name? If you can just quickly say hello, introduce yourself as we wait for Mr. Callaghy.
Hi, Krista's on. Krista Venezia.
Krista, so happy to have you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your
Thank
voice.
you.
Yeah. Hey,
Morning,
Fernando.
everyone.
Oh, there we
Krista.
go. Mr. Callaghy, good morning.
Hey, Tiffany was dialing me in and said, you have a great group ready to go, and you have Ben Fox yelling. So I didn't hear Ben Fox yelling, but Ben, I am proud of you for yelling on Thankful Thursday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
That is awesome. Listen, I'm laughing and chuckling because, life is so much rooted in our energy and where we're coming from and what we're delivering. And so, the purpose of these calls are many, not a few, they're many. They're to get our day grounded, to get ourselves focused, to get ourselves in an energetic state, to see possibility, to remind ourselves of the results formula and our access to growth in it, to overcome fear and distortion, because fear and distortion rob us of action. They rob us of seeing what is right there in front of us. That's why in the videos I say, hey, we're all blind and just learning to see, because I am not only physically, but also practically, as are you, in many different ways, and each of us are not in many different ways. And so supporting one another in our experiences and our wins and our journey is also a critical part of sharing access and growth. But the bottom line is we are here to create acceleration in our sales and our success. And I'm feeling it. I'm hearing it. I'm seeing it. And it is fun and exciting. So, Ben, thank you for bringing that energy. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, everybody, for being here on this incredible Thankful Thursday. Mr. Fernando, what, sir, is present for you as we get rolling on this Thankful Thursday?
Thank you, Sean. What I'm present for is I'm going to call it an addiction to distinction. It rhymes. I just made that up. And I was thinking this morning, and the breakthrough that I had on top of the 3 I shared yesterday, I had a breakthrough in reciprocity. So I'm not sure if that's an indispensable element or in self-mastery yet, but my distinction in reciprocity was first it started with the breakthrough of the videos are for the person. The videos are for the person. And what I realized in watching your videos and just being around you and just constantly observing is my breakthrough was, I remember in the past when I was in a networking mentality, I would do a job and then I would say, hey, can you film a testimonial for me? And it was always very awkward. It was asking them questions was almost embarrassing. It was weird. It was just weird to sit there and have someone speak good about you while you're the one recording. And my breakthrough was the power of when you're in the video and you start, welcome to 2020 Vision, Crushing Fear and Distortion. I'm Sean Callaghy. I'm here with, and you go right into acknowledgement, validation. And here's my distinction. You convey their heroic, unique identity. And what you shared is that since most people have all this greatness and they don't know how to express it, when you express it for them, there's this love, attraction, in just many different ways. And it actually causes them through the law of reciprocity to share your unique identity in love and excitement and aspiration. And that's the power of those videos. And you're in control. I thought that I wasn't in control, but the thing is we are in control through reciprocity, frictionlessness, all these different components. I'm just seeing them stack and add. So that was my breakthrough. It was in reciprocity.
Dude, that's phenomenal. So let me jump in there, and then I want to open it up to questions. We hit a lot last night, hit it in depth and hit it hard. And it was really powerful. And I'm incredibly grateful for everything that occurred last night in our training. And so I want to chat about what's present for folks. First, let me emphasize what Fernando just said. Reciprocity is one of our 10 indispensable elements. It's the notion that as we give to people, they want to give to us. We're in integrity because I'm not giving that with the expectation of return. And that's not certainly what Fernando is suggesting. What he is suggesting is when we give, there's just like this natural dynamic that just flows. And I could think of it even from yesterday as you were sharing it, Fernando. You know, I had the conversation about the meeting that we're at, and I'll talk about the night before when I did a speaking engagement down at Red Bank with Rob and the amazing Epic team, thanks to Kelly. And so yesterday I'm there, and I did exactly what you said. We went around the table, and it was interesting because each person was kind of there by themselves. And I had the privilege to have Rob Gill with me, Dan Geltrude, America's Accountant, Mike Crouppen, the #1 salesperson in the world, and to have the opportunity to introduce each of them in that room. First of all, it made me look like, who's this guy rolling with this crew that's here? And then each of them had something massive to contribute to what was happening. Massive. And it was like, that was incredible. And then I'm introducing each of them, and then each of them were like, well, Sean, blah, 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 Sean, blah, 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 and Mike Crouppen, who, by the way, and this is just remarkable, we're in New York, 2 people in the room knew Mike Crouppen from Beverly Hills. I'm sorry, 3 people in the room knew Mike Crouppen from Beverly Hills. 3. And so then Mike, you know, they know him to be unbelievable, have access to all these people. And Mike's like, no. Sean, boom. Like, no. Sean, boom. And he's dropping the mic on my unique identity. And it was just incredible. And it leaves such an impression on people. So it's emphasizing what Fernando was saying, that yes, the power of that reciprocity, it draws people forward. It makes people want to be a part of things. And then when you're looking, because a challenge I was going to end with, but I'll do it here for everybody. A challenge to you is to think of like, who is your first dancer? Like, watch that TED Talk today. And Tiffany, let's send that out to the group, just the link for the TED Talk on how to create a movement, and really begin to think about who your second dancer is. And don't stress yourself out if you don't have one yet, but like you're in search of. And by putting out energy, by talking to people, by meeting people, you're going to find that second dancer. And by the way, what I'm realizing now is I have second dancers in all kinds of different categories. So Rob Gill was the second dancer in the overall movement of acceleration in my relaunch of this program outside of Callagy Law. So I only began to relaunch this program outside of Callagy Law a little over a year ago, and not paid yet, right? We're just launching that now. And Rob was that second dancer. And then I had Michael Smikin as a second dancer, just in the fact that the results I was able to produce looked a lot more like magic than science, but they were actually science. So he was telling people that inside of Callagy Law and outside with Callagy Law clients. And now, you know, in a whole bunch of different ways, you know, Tiffany, who just works 24 hours a day and is a total lunatic. I have Nicole, who's flying all over the world and helping me see when I'm not seeing. Fernando is jumping in at this extraordinary level of looking at every micro distinction and love, and quite honestly, loving my work at a level I may never have felt the love for my work. I feel I'm very blessed and grateful to feel love, right? And I am super thankful. And Rob Gill may be, you know, a champion of making me feel love, which I cannot thank him enough for how much love he sends my way. It's pretty neat that I feel Fernando, and I'm excited about it, loves the work maybe even more than he loves me, which is amazing. He loves the technology, and he's like, it's unbelievable to feel that feeling. So for you, and that took a lot of time and effort, like to put that in place, but I never thought of it that way before. So I want to create acceleration for you in the space of seeing that. And by the way, Ben Fox, lots of love too. I would be remiss not to say that. So, and being an immense dancer in the blindness community and in accessing now the non-blindness community, incredibly. and many others. You know, I've opened the Pandora's box. There are many on that list. So at the same time, fret not, because you're looking with your awareness of that and seeking that, you're going to find your second dancer, and then you're going to get disappointed. I've had people that have claimed and sworn to be like the second dancer, and like, I'm going to be the champion of this, and I have names like literally on the tip of my tongue. I wouldn't say them to be, you know, I don't want to be harmful, but that weren't, you know, that loved the idea, right, of thinking that they were going to be a second dancer, but didn't want to put the energy, the work, the time, the heart into it. They just wanted the benefits. So you're going to get some disappointments and frustrations, absolutely, but you're going to have those second dancers. And then, by the way, you're going to become dancers for them. So there's like a mutuality of being dancers in each other's ecosystems, right? So I think each of the people I just mentioned are benefiting substantially by me being dancers in their world and supporting their greatness. And there's this beautiful reciprocity that occurs. So be on the lookout for your dancers. That reciprocity has massive power. And the challenge is to begin to manifest not only through your thoughts, but your actions, people that are following what you're doing. Now, how to do that? Fernando gave the access. And that wasn't planned, because I was literally going to talk about mastery in dancers. And then Fernando jumps in with reciprocity. And it's such a beautiful fit, because for you, the way it's going to happen is by building rapport and beginning to teach people the things we're talking about here. The greatest challenge for business people is creating a higher quantity of quality sales meetings and going from hello to yes. So you are you're investing in yourself, your time, your money, your energy into developing those superpowers. And as you do, and you share it with people, there's massive differences that occur. I paused because I want to add this. The ad is precision, Zeus, crispness. And I was sharing with some people on my team the other night, because we did a speaking engagement, and some of the people on my team, in delivering their unique identity, there was a lack of crispness. So as you deliver it with precision, with energy, with tightness, like, you'll feel it, the rhythmic nature of it. And this is why I'm such a massive advocate of videos. Everything I advocate to you guys, there's like not one thing that only does one thing. There's all these things that do so many things. So when you shoot videos, you're doing all the things Fernando just said about creating reciprocity. You're also becoming a better communicator and influencer. You're becoming a better public speaker. You're becoming better at delivering your unique identity. You're becoming better at practicing the energies. And videos are a remarkably powerful space to do that in. And the more we do it, the better we become rapidly, not only at videos, but about creating human influence. I've seen a massive shift in Rob's tightness, and he was an incredible influencer when I met him, but the tightness of his delivery is only getting better every single day, not only at shooting videos and how he's delivering his identity, how he's connecting with people. I'm watching it happen with Fernando. I am clearly experiencing with Ben Fox. These are very exciting times and dynamics that are occurring. Final intro, and then turn into questions from a couple. Is the other night when we did a speaking engagement, we discussed shooting a video. It's a very funny one. It's a therapist that Rob was working with at some point with his family, which I, by the way, advocate and believe in, always getting support, whether it be coaching or which you're receiving here, right, coaching and training, or folks that work with, high-level, high-skilled counselors. And it was just funny because the guy was like totally resistant in the beginning. And then in 2 seconds, he was wide open. And it was like he just wanted the microphone to start like telling jokes and like busting like Rob's chops and like jumping in with the fun. And we're acknowledging and validating him. His energy in the room after the video totally shifted. His openness to communicating with us totally shifted. So like that's the power of video. And that is the power of the reciprocity. And you just see it every day, everywhere. Okay. With that said, would anybody like to ask any questions, share any wins, any insights? It would be great if it, was related to maybe the training from yesterday, but it'd also be great if it's not. So totally cool. Who, if anybody has something that they'd like to ask or share?
Go ahead, team.
Sean, it's Rob. Real quick, I just want to add one thing about the video with the therapist.
Yes, sir.
the thing I've learned with Sean is to be vulnerable. Just imagine if all you folks out there have a therapist and Sean finds out that that's your therapist and it was unexpected, what that video would look and feel like, and that vulnerability. that vulnerability is how people really connect. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and I have to acknowledge Rob Gill because there's 4 energies, and fun is certainly one of them. And Rob, you know, in the world we have fun. We take on different identities and roles, and Rob is a Zeus up alpha leader in the space and what he does. And in some of our dynamics on video, Rob very graciously, which I appreciate enormously, you know, takes the role of like comedic foil and fun, you know, with some fun there. And I couldn't be more grateful. It makes the videos attractive. We get so much great feedback on them. And Rob and I certainly have that funner relationship, and we laugh a ton off camera together. But, you know, I am committed to always making sure we're showing Rob's greatness, as well as the fact that, you know, we have some fun busting his chops when we go into the Rob from Bayonne and, you know, and Sean dynamic. And so Rob, I am very grateful to you, brother, for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. On that note, one thing I would eventually love to hear and learn from Rob that I've noticed is that Rob has an ability to be vulnerable. And I can't think of another word. So just don't use this word, is what I'm going to use right now. It's not painful. Like sometimes when you hear someone share something vulnerable, your body kind of curls up. For some reason, Rob has like a way of sharing vulnerability where it's like always fun. And I still haven't figured out how, but I just kind of want to put it out to the universe because I'm interested in understanding that. So thought. So. And
I'll answer for Rob and then let Rob answer for himself. Look, let us not forget that Rob, through his personal development work and the journey of not having had a drink in 23 years, which I had the privilege of giving him his coin at an AA meeting, not since he's 26. And I think one of the access points is a testament to the work that we're all doing here on these calls and together is Rob's done the work, and Rob's not stopping doing the work and continuing to do the work. So Rob's done a ton of work and is continuing to do it. And ego and significance, their head rises for him like it does for me and all of us at times. But he has been so open to the idea of crushing distortion, crushing any significance issues and ego issues. And I am incredibly grateful. And he's given me the permission, and I've hit him with a double barrel shotgun at times. And, you know, I'm super grateful, Rob. Anything you like to add there, brother?
No, I honestly, Fernando, to answer your question, I wish I could tell you I wish I knew exactly step 1, step 2, step 3 of exactly what you're talking about, other than being open, being honest, and going through the emotional uncertainty is really kind of what leads to that. And when your therapist on tape says, the Gill family's coming in at 7 o'clock, should I take a Vyvanse or should I take a sedative before the meeting? And that's in the video. A career therapist, by the way, whose name is Dr. Frankenstein. Can't make that up
Frankenstein, like Frankenstein. That's his real name. It's just amazing. So Rob Gill's family therapist is Dr. Frankenstein.
That's hilarious.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So, but by the way, everybody, please note that people want those entertaining and fun and comedic breaks from you too. Just sprinkled in, right? Just sprinkled in. You know, it's not our beginning access, but over time, it's just fun to laugh at yourself, laugh at life, see irony. You know, it's just fun. You know, people enjoy it, and it's certainly a heroic, unique identity characteristic, because if you think of all the heroes that you love and study from any movie, they have fun and humor. Like Yoda is funny. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Raw Deal is funny. You know, Wonder Woman is funny. Not all the time, not even a lot, but occasionally. Indiana Jones, you know, like think Die Hard, Bruce Willis. Like think of these, you know, sort of iconic Rocky, iconic heroic characters. Like they drop humor and some fun. You know, like they're able to step out of the moment and just look at their life and look at what's happening and just kind of laugh at it for a second and go, well, this is kind of crazy. You know, like Saturday night, I was with a guy when I was in Florida, my client. We were approached by some guy that was a Ukrainian that claimed to be a senior advisor to Bill Gates that was like connected to the Epstein suicide. And that could be like really crazy and scary. And at the same time, it was just like, yeah, that's my Saturday afternoon, like hanging out with some guy that could be like a fixer to like, you know, kill my client and me. Oh, well, like that's kind of funny and weird. So, you know, the ability to just look at life and its irony and not take ourselves or anything too seriously is a very heroic characteristic. Any final questions, thoughts, or comments? Please. All right. Hey,
before Sean, I'm so sorry. Before we go into closing, I'd like to make a request just from everyone in the group in service of you and like practicing your heroic, unique identity, as Sean said, in creation of the videos. Things happen. I was actually having a conversation with my girlfriend this morning where sometimes we try to do too much. It could seem, not saying it is, like, oh, there's all these things, all these steps. The reality is, and I'll speak from experience, when I observed the formula, it was one thing. When I started doing it, it was a complete other one. So my request to you is please go in the WhatsApp and just make a 30, 45-second video and talk about your experience in this group. Talk about Sean, talk about your access, talk about how you were brought here, what your expectations were, what your actual reality is. Drop a video in there, begin to practice. Feel free to throw in your heroic, unique identity in there and just begin to create those videos. And to double my request from earlier in the week, let's start thinking of some people we can share this with. And one thing that's really working with Roy, which Roy is an absolute rock star, Sean spoke about him on yesterday's training, we'll be meeting today, is let's write down a list. Something happens when you write something down. Something happens when something happens. Let's write down a list of 10 people that either A, we would love to merge with, or B, we just want to have a conversation about what we're up to here. So 2 things, 2 action items, 2 call to actions. Please, by the end of the day, just drop a video in the WhatsApp, you know, flip it on selfie mode and just, hey, my name is, here's what I'm up to, here's my experience, here's my identity. And by Monday, I'd love if you can write a list of 10 people that you can share this with. So those are my requests.
But Fernando, I would jump in and say this. Only put people on that list that it's going to help you because they're going to become a client, or you're going to expand your ecosystem, merge your relationship with them by communicating about this. And that's the key distinction. The key is in doing something that would be certainly helpful for us, our certainty is that it's going to be exponentially more helpful for you. And Rob is seeing that all over the place. Fernando, dude, you are seeing that all over the place. Are you not?
I am. That's why I want to share it.
Yeah, for sure. So I just, Fernando meant that, but I want to make that clear that it creates an access to communicate about things. And by the way, so you don't think that's some out of integrity nonsense, I have been giving away my time and coaching material for a long time. And that's how a major part of how I built Caligula to have 125 employees. By talking to people about their business and business development and clients that residually create, business with me of 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month. And we do have clients like that. And that many of our conversations began with not only utilizing the results formula, but literally teaching it to them and talking about it with them. So just a huge access and an opportunity for you. Maybe you're not seeing it. It's right there. Hey, it's Thankful Thursday. Incredibly grateful. Remember, top ecosystem mergers, shooting videos, practicing your skill sets. Couldn't be more grateful. Have an amazing Thankful Thursday. Gratitude is the source of energy. It crushes fear and distortion. Gratitude. Everything is working for us. Nothing is working against us. God makes all things work together for good. I believe that. Believe what you want, call it the universe, God, whatever. All things are working for you. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Cali. Blessings, everyone. Talk tomorrow. See you in the WhatsApp. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
To everybody, this is how we do it.